how to navigate some climate information. That's a question we receive quite frequently. And I want to discuss some quick one-stop shopping areas to access all things related to climate and past weather. So first, I would recommend that you visit this section, Climate and Past Weather. Just hover over it and you will see this drop-down menu appear. I would recommend that you click on Past Observed Weather. Once you're here, you will see 3 sections: product, location, time frame. I would recommend for most people the preliminary monthly climate data, or the CF6 product, would be most useful and answer a lot of questions that we receive. So click on that. In the location, you will see 5 locations. These are the 5 airports that we have in our region that have what's called an ASOS weather station. That's a high-tech weather station that the National Weather Service maintains. It produces hourly weather information, and that's why a lot of the data is archived, and it often is the most robust network that we have. So these are the 5 airports in our region that have what's called an ASOS weather station, and that's why we have a lot of data for those sites. And then the third section, time frame, this is where you can select which month in question that you want to research. So you could say, I want to know what currently is going on, or you can click on archive data and go back in time to last year, the year before. Actually, we have data that goes back to 2016 currently. So we do have a pretty lengthy archive. But say you want to know about March 2021. You click go, and then here we go. This is the product. It's pretty simple, just a text product. Shows you the month and the year right here. Tells you the high temperature for each calendar day, the low temperature. It tells you the snowfall, the snow depth. It shows you here we have the wind gust measurement. It shows you the direction. This is the peak wind gust for each calendar day, and then the direction that that wind gust was in. Peak wind gust is in miles per hour. You also notice snow. Albany is the only climate site that measures snowfall. The other sites do not have what we call contract weather observers, and therefore they do not have snowfall data. Only Albany of the 5 airports currently has snow data. At the bottom, you'll see that we have departures for month to date. So for temperature, Albany so far for March 2021, we're about 1 degree below normal. For precipitation, actually, we are 1.15 inches below normal. So you can see that we actually are pretty dry so far for the month. Down here, we actually have how many days where the high temperature was at or below 32, how many days where the low temperature was below 32. So that's some of that information people might find useful. How many days we've had where precipitation has exceeded certain thresholds, half an inch, an inch, tenth of an inch, all that's there for you. So this is a really great product as a one-stop shopping to get information. Of course, this is available for other locations. So if you want to do, say, Poughkeepsie from, say, last July, because I know it was very warm that month, some people might be interested in that. You can see all that data is here for you. This is one we're looking at here. Days above 90 degrees, 17 days for the month. So that's really good for some media partners who might be interested in those statistics. Again, looking at departures, 5 degrees above normal, very warm month, very dry, almost 2 inches below normal. So all that data is there for you. Another stopping area that I would recommend for archive climate data is what we call the Now data. Click on that tab. You will see that we have all the airports, in addition to what we have the cooperative weather stations that the Albany office maintains. So we have more stations. We have Litchfield County, we have Southern Vermont, other parts of the capital region, the Adirondacks, all of that here is for you. Of course, though, not all of them have the same length of period of record as Albany. Albany has the longest period of record. We go back to the 1800s, but certainly go back and kind of discover data for various climate sites here. One of my favorites from these products is the accumulation graph. A lot of people might find that useful. So, for example, if you want snowfall, you're looking at Albany snowfall so far for the season. And how much snow have we received so far this season? You can go, click enlarge graph, and you can see how the snowfall has trended so far this winter season. So the current season is highlighted in green. Then we have the largest or the highest snowfall on record is in blue. We have the lowest snowfall on record is in red, and then this brown line is normal. So you can kind of get a comparison of where we stand with respect to normal. Same goes for precipitation. So you wanted to know year-to-date precipitation, where do we stand? Precipitation, click go. The same thing. You can get information about precipitation year-to-date. One other product here that I find to be very useful is the first last date. This is really great if you want to know about the first freeze and the last freeze. So for here, you would click on Advanced Options, go to July 1st, Season, and click Go. And here you can see the first freeze of the 2019-2020 season was actually November 3rd, and the last freeze of the season really late, May 13th. So that's great if you want to take a look at where we stand with respect to the normal first freeze and then the typical last freeze if you want to compare. That's some really great data right there. There's other ones here, the daily monthly normals is another really good one if you're curious about where we are, where the normals are for a certain region in terms of precipitation monthly and temperatures. That's there for you, so you can see, say for the month of July, the mean maximum temperature is 80 degrees, or excuse me, 82 degrees, and then the minimum is the minimum is 59 degrees here. So that data is great to look at as well. And then here you can kind of get precipitation. You can see in terms of annually, where do we stand, which months typically are the wettest, which one's the driest, how the temperatures fall. So there's some really interesting data right here. Daily as well. So if you want monthly, you want daily. Certain day and time, you want to know you have precipitation, you have temperatures. So you want to say, what is the typical normal high temperature July 1st, 81 degrees, or the typical temperature May 11th, this example, 68. So this is great as well. And again, you click on large results to get that big picture approach. There's so much information here. I would encourage everyone to just play around with it and really explore all the options that are here. So let's go back to our main web page. Now that we've discussed the CF6 and the now data, another really good spot to look for climate data is right here at the bottom, the climate tile. You can click on that. And this will give you to where we have all our products for the main climate sites. There's a wealth of data here, especially for Albany. I would encourage everyone to poke around here, explore. There's so much. Some really interesting factoids can be found here for the extremes records link. You click on that, and then you click on all time. This is really interesting. You can see all-time extremes for Albany. Our temperature records date back to 1874, and our precipitation actually goes back to 1826. So we have a wealth of data for Albany, and a lot of the statistics and extremes are right here documented. Earliest, first 90-degree day, latest 90-degree day of the season. We have the coldest month, warmest month. There's so much here. So you can poke around and really get some really interesting statistics on this website. For the holidays, some people are really into holidays. There's a table here all about holidays. We have another holidays tab here. You can go each holiday at Christmas, for example, and you can see the warmest. You can look at here, the legend. the warmest day on record for Christmas, the coldest Christmas, the wettest Christmas, snowiest, all that. You can follow the legend and look through the data and find those statistics right here. So the coldest Christmas, the low is -22, 1969. We have the coldest high of 1980, 1983, so all of that's there. Another interesting one, if you go to snowfall, the snowfall tab, if you click on most and least snowiest, we have these great graphs that show you seasonally what have been the most snowiest seasons on record. And then here we have the least snowiest seasons on record. So there's a lot of great information here in terms of a chart and ranking systems that kind of shows you. This is snowstorms, another fan favorite. This is the greatest snowstorms on record for Albany. So the most recent one, the December 16th and 17th, 2020, it's on the list. Of course, the Blizzard of 1888 is number one. This is a great summary page. If you want to know by month, say that the greatest February snowstorms on record, that's all documented here. So these are great. We share these on our social media platforms, and as you can see, we do update them regularly. We do update them at the end of each month, just so everything is up to date. So the climate tab, like I said, is really great for that. And of course, if you want more, you can go to, you go back to here. If you want to explore other sites like Pittsfield, we have more information for Pittsfield, Bennington, Poughkeepsie. They have the extremes. Glens Falls, we have the extremes. So it's not just Albany centric. We do try to give information for the other climate sites as well. So back to our home page. I also would like to point you to this section. Go to climate and past weather events. If you click on that, it takes you to this page. If you're interested in events, specific events such as a snowstorm or a flooding event or a severe weather outbreak, I would encourage you to visit this past weather events page. We create storm write-ups for some of our more impressive events, and then we document those write-ups right here. So for example, the December 16th to 17th snowstorm, click on storm write-up. It'll bring you to our event summary for that storm. We have our maps that we created. We have our public information statement. All the data is down here. Radar, we have, so you can click and loop the radar. We have photos and videos. So there's really a wealth of information in terms of archived past weather events and summaries. We have Tropical Storm Isaias here. I know this year is the anniversary of Hurricane Irene. So you go to the 2011 tab, you scroll down. We have right here archived data for Hurricane Irene. In addition, we have documented major snowstorms for the Albany area, some summaries here. And then in addition, we have major flood, and we have flooding events documented in this section, and it gives you a little storm summary of each of the floods. So that's some really great information. And we have some write-ups on severe weather as well.